Hi guys! So today I'm actually going to try to do this video while the kids are in the background, so you know that I'm already a stay-at-home mom. So if you hear background noise with kids, don't be alarmed. Anyways, I decided that I was going to do a two-part series on my channel. One was going to be specific to being a young mom, stay-at-home mom, and the next was going to be specific to being a young wife. So with regards to the mom series, one thing that I know that a lot of people tend to have as a question is homeschooling. Why did I choose to homeschool? So I decided I'm just going to start off with that, and then I'll go from there on, and I'll target each subject as time goes along. So why did I start homeschooling? The truth of the matter is, I never set out to be a homeschooling mom. I remember talking to Erin back when we were courting or dating. Why am I saying courting? When we were dating, we were talking about kids and talking about our lives, and I said that I couldn't picture myself being a stay-at-home mom because I don't know, it just seemed like I was going to be at home all day, but here I am. In fact, I'm not just a stay-at-home mom, I'm a homeschooling mom. So how did I really get into that? Well, we had our first child, and I will go more in depth into that with my hubby. We're going to do a how we met video, so I don't want to give too much away, lest there's no point in watching that video. But anyways, going from there, after having our first child, I was home obviously, during the year. Then after that, we were getting ready to kind of go on with life. So he was going to go to school, and I was just taking care of our daughter for the time being. So when I started teaching her a lot of things. So yeah, I had more time on my hands, and I taught her a lot. It's something I do enjoy doing, and we just kept doing that, and she learned a lot really quickly. You'll be surprised what one-on-one can do. It's not a matter of how smart your kids are or how brilliant their brain is all the time. Honestly, some of it has to just simply do with the amount of time and effort you put into them. And so, yeah, I started doing that, and then by the time she was 3, she was already reading, not just she was reading little mini chapter books by 3. It's crazy. I know. I couldn't believe it myself, but she was. And yeah, basically by the time she was ready to go to school, I felt like she was going to be bored out of her mind. I felt that she was going to be bored because she was already doing all the things that kids were doing in kindergarten and grade 1 by the time it was time for her to go to junior kindergarten. I don't know, that's when my hubby and I really kind of made that decision to focus on homeschooling, not just because we thought she was going to be bored, but just with how we saw her progressing. By the time she was already 2.5, I was just about to have our middle child, and they were all our middle child and our third child were planned. So yeah, they were planned because I wanted them to be within a certain age group. So yeah, I already started our family, I felt. So it was okay, you know what? Being that we already started our little family, it just seemed right for a number of reasons, and we can go more in depth with that, but I prefer to address that, I guess, kind of stuff when my hubby's around, so you guys can hear his side too. So yeah, as I had baby number 2 and stuff, I was homeschooling my little one. She's already 2.5, and baby number 3 came along, and then my first one was in the age to go into school. And yeah, we just kind of made the decision that homeschooling was best for the time being. Now, did I plan on homeschooling forever? No, I didn't, and not that I still even do right now. It's just one of those things that I always said, you know what, I'm going to go with the flow and go with it as time goes by and see how well my kids are learning, not just academically, but socially development, how well they develop socially and stuff like that as well. So those things are important to me. But yeah, we have just been doing it because it's been working and our kids are learning, and I just love being able to create a nice, inviting environment. So there are other things, obviously, that some parents are concerned about when their kids do go to school. And there are some of those things, too, that I I'm grateful for that my kids don't necessarily have to encounter. But the main reason behind me starting homeschooling was because I was teaching my daughter early on and she became a little bit advanced. Now, do I think homeschooling is all there is? No, I don't. Homeschooling is not for everyone. It's not for every family. It's also, just because I homeschool doesn't mean that I think my kids are better than any kids. I am not like that. I don't think that at all. And I'm not trying to quarantine my kids away from other kids either. They do go to activities and they have their friends just the same. They get involved and they socialize with all different people and different kids from their activities. So it's not about that either. But I guess the circle of influence is a little bit smaller. It's not like a great wide open ocean or something, where I don't know where I was going with that analogy, but you know what I mean. But yeah, another thing is we got encouraged by this book that really kind of started us off. It was called Raising Brighter Children, which my husband and I discovered at a garage sale. We were young and didn't have a lot of money and all that other stuff either. But God is so good, and He's always been the center of everything that we do. And we were going garage sailing back in the days because that's something that I used to do with my family as well, just a casual thing. And so we went and found this book called Raising Brighter Children, which we purchased for like 50 cents. And my husband and I was reading it, more so my husband, and then he discovered little mini tricks on teaching your kids how to read. And we started implementing these finds into our my teaching, like teaching my children, and they were working. I was so impressed. And so that was one of the main things that propelled I felt like this just growth in my child's learning. It was like a big booster, and I just saw her excelling, my first child, and then as my second child came along, my third, I saw them benefiting from it too. Now, will I say all my kids are all learning at an equal pace? No, they are not. They each have their own strengths and they each have their own weaknesses, and that's what I also love about homeschooling, is that homeschooling can target their individual strengths and weaknesses. But I can also do another video on that to just talk about the pros and cons of homeschooling, because it's not all fun and it's not all dull and boring, and people do it for different reasons. So I hope this can kind of address a little bit of why I chose this route. And being a young mom, of course, it's been like, I never pictured myself being a young mom homeschooling. I'm 30 and I've been homeschooling for the past 10 years. So my kids have not been to school and they have been at home the entire time, and I love homeschooling. I really, really do. I don't have anything with them going to regular school. In fact, like this year, that past day, we're going to go to school, but other things came up and so they didn't end up going. But at some point, and I think I'm glad for that reason, because I don't know. I think that what we're doing right now is awesome. So as time progresses, we'll see what happens, because there are some things that I wouldn't say they're issues, but for my personal self, I'm an outgoing person. I love to work. I'm a hardworking person, and I know this is work too, but at the same time, there are things that I do miss about being out there in the work world. And my degree's coming up, it's coming to an end, and I'm either thinking of just doing my master's or something along the lines, or we'll see what happens if I just continue homeschooling or if I just venture off into the work world. So we'll see what happens with that. And with those changes, obviously, it will impact my ability to homeschool. So that is pretty much it. It's been a question that's been asked by a few people here, and I also know it's always a question that's pondered by people everywhere I go. They're like, oh, you homeschool? And so, I know that it's a question that's kind of out there, especially when you know that I homeschool my kids. This is, I guess, just like a brief video. I'm not sure if I covered everything. If you have any further questions in regards to some of the things I said, or guess about me homeschooling and why, or anything along the lines of that, feel free to comment below so I can do a follow-up video and preferably include my husband. We have a bunch of videos that we're going to be filming together, and we're super excited about it. It's just always the time and the lighting from, you know, the sun that does matter. And he's calling me right now. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and thank you so much for watching and tuning in. Much love. Bye, guys.